Hey guys, what is going on? It's LightningFoxHD and we're here with something a little bit different this time, Soul Calibur 5. And originally I was going to do a video of playing some online matches, but, well, you can imagine how that turned out. I think I ended up playing something like 15 matches and I didn't win a single one, so I decided to go back to the offline mode and try and get some practice in. I'm using my character here. He's called Azazel. He's based on Nightmare and he's pretty cool. But I haven't played this since pretty much when the game was released. I bought it again recently because it was on sale on Xbox Live. So this is actually installed on my hard drive. It's the digital version of the game, which doesn't really make that much difference. But I was just trying to get some practice in and trying to get some of the titles as you work your way through. And we're playing against a Dampier-based character here who, as far as I'm aware, seems to be a little bit of a novelty character, not very serious. I'm not too sure on the history of Dampier though. I tend to stick to the core characters for the most part. The characters that they introduced in Soul Calibur 5, apart from the ones that are blatantly just updated versions of original characters. I haven't really played them very much. Stick to what I know. And Nightmare's a slow character, but he is pretty powerful. So this one based on Maxi. He's a big guy, looks like he's like some sort of Russian American footballer. Quite the combination. And I went into this fight thinking Maxi based characters are usually quite fast, and that's the way that you beat a Nightmare based character. And you can see I'm just spamming that move over and over trying to break his guard. So the way to beat a faster character when you're playing as Nightmare is to just try and rush him down as best you can, or at least that's what I do. Nightmare's moves are particularly slow for the most part, so you have to maximize every single opportunity you get. And stuff like that where I had time to wind up a decent move as he was getting up. It gives you the opportunity, because if you think of it like pressing a button at the same time, I know I'm playing as against the computer in this instance, but if you press it at the same time, nearly everybody would get the attack off before Nightmare. So you can't just one for one the attacks, you have to sort of plan in advance. And that attack there was pretty cool. Stepped back and allowed him to run towards us, gave us plenty of time to do that move there. And you'll see in a couple of different fights here, I tried to get the special move, I can't remember what it's called, critical edge or whatever it is, and I'll forward step twice as I'm trying to do a quarter circle forward twice. The Xbox 360 control is a little bit hideous for doing quarter circles consistently. And the computer got a ring out there, cheap. One of the worst things in fighting games. Ring out. There, I was trying to get the special off. Just getting those stupid forward steps instead though. I don't use a fight stick. I don't own a fight stick. I don't play enough fighting games to warrant buying a fight stick. Although, when I see people playing with fight sticks, I wish I had one. So you can see that we've evened it out. Winner of this match goes to, well, ultimately achieves victory, I guess. And these characters that I'm fighting against are all in the intermediate bracket of difficulty. I'm not quite good enough to take on the higher level enemies. This guy here, what an absolute chump he is. He's playing as Patroclus. I think that's how you say it. Or at least the soul of Patroclus. And he's so lightning fast. Like I said earlier, I mean, that's the way that you beat Nightmare. You just rush him down. That backflip move that gets you on the floor is horrible. And it seems like a lot of different moves that this weapon set can do that combo into each other. So I was starting to sort of get to that point where I was like, oh, I'm not going to be able to beat this guy. I tried to rush him down a little bit with power attacks, but there he's just getting the combos in. And I wasn't sure how to combat him. Like I said, it's been a while since I took Soul Calibur 5 seriously. And playing online was an absolute baptism of fire because the community isn't particularly big at the moment. It took a while to get into a match. And then once I was in it, I absolutely got destroyed. Like, the people that play must be the the really good players. I was just praying for a noob so I could get one win. But it never happened. But hopefully I'll be able to keep playing it a little bit. You can see that I've lost some of my armor there. I don't have the awesome hooves anymore. And you can see here, I mean, I'm just panicking really. Don't really know how to take on that character. We're up against Hilda here. Although it's not Hilda, it's just the soul of Hilda. Much easier to fight. Characters that use this weapon set, I think, are pretty slow. Not too slow, but they are slow. Let's say slow. And their moves seem to be signposted quite far in advance, so you can guess when you've got a bit of an opportunity to get an attack in. And this level here really demonstrates the graphics of Soul Calibur 5 quite well. It's a really good looking game, especially at 60 frames a second, which I think is what it runs as standard, but obviously on YouTube it won't appear that way. I'm surprised that YouTube doesn't allow for 60 frames a second yet. And that is one of my all-time favourite combos. And that just absolutely wrecked him. I'm not sure why it did that level of damage. I don't know if it's because I'd already broken some of his armor, or if it was because he was moving at the time, but seemed to, I think it took off more than half of his health, which was pretty nice. And I'm feeling pretty confident at this point. 2 victories, only 1 more to get the ultimate victory over him. And every single fight that I'm doing here, I haven't fought them before. These are all, and I cut the video down so that I took out the loading screens and such, but I'm gaining titles of every single one of these fights. And I think that these are all chronological as well. Took a bit of a defeat there. Surprise ending. Yeah, I think these are all chronological, so it was just one after the other. Trying to get the guards. And this is how little I play and understand the inner workings of Soul Calibur 5. That guard impact that I did there was the first time that I think I've ever done it. I didn't realise that if you press back, and for me it's the right trigger. I don't know if I've changed the settings. It does a guard impact. So you'll see us starting to spam that now because I'm like, oh, I've learned something new. And it's not particularly difficult to pull off. We're up against the soul of Natsu, I think she's called here, which is a more modern version of Taki. I don't think Taki's in it anymore. She used to be a really good character though, really fast. So Natsu might be one that's you can see there I was waiting and I was gonna do a guard impact, but it never came. And another way to beat Nightmare, I find, is a lot of his moves that you would default go to when you're playing as him are the vertical attacks rather than the horizontal. So anybody that can sidestep relatively quick is going to get an advantage over Nightmare. So we took a defeat there, 1-1. And you can see how lightning fast Natsu actually is. I'm just trying to get a move that's going to... That's her special move and it's really cool. Trying to get a move that's going to allow us to get a couple of hits in, because you can see that I do a lot of damage. I can even it out with much less hits, but actually trying to get in there and get the attacks is difficult. When I actually can pull that off, I love that move. So here I'm just spamming anything to try and get the victory. And it came from an awesome move in the end. Battle 4. When that combo works, it's really cool. You can see that her life bar's glowing there. She's been blocking too much. It really irritates us when people just sit and block all day, even if it is just the computer, if it's online. See, she suffered for it there, and I managed to get that combo off to the full amount. Do me special, but she blocked it. She goes straight into her special, which I managed to block, which spectacular little bit of gameplay there. It was awesome. Felt really cool to be playing at that point. And luckily we got the victory over her. Goodbye. Soul of Zeba here. I think you pronounce it Zeba. And this character, I was actually I was impressed with the character that they'd created. He's pretty cool. And Zebra's not somebody else who I haven't played as. I think he's entirely new to the series in this game. Can't think of anybody else that used that weapon. I know. I guess maybe it would be similar to Sung Mina, but Sung Mina uses a much longer weapon. I can't remember what you would call it. It's not a spear. Pole arm weapons, maybe. I don't know. And while I was playing this, that I thought it would be really cool if they would make a Soul Calibur game that wasn't just fighting like one-on-one like this. If it was actually like Dark Souls, and you had like the sort of the mechanics of Soul Calibur, the characters and the lore of Soul Calibur, but it was in sort of a fully 3D environment where you could just run about and stuff. I think that would make for an awesome game. And I don't think that this guy was particularly hard. For somebody like me who doesn't play it very often and has managed to get terrible at the game, sometimes these intermediate level fights can be a bit of a challenge. I don't tend to suffer too much for it. And if I get defeated once, then I should win it the second time. But that Zebra character seemed pretty easy. And we've got a clone match here. This is somebody that's been built with Nightmare's base stats. Or weapon set. Soul. Not quite sure how to word it. But this guy again, I thought it was going to be challenging. Sometimes Nightmare's a really difficult character to fight. Or somebody who is based around Nightmare. Nightmare and Siegfried seem to have really powerful attacks. And if they start going, it can be, they've got the momentum on their side, so once you start getting hit, you can really suffer for it pretty fast. But it wasn't too bad. I managed to get my special off here, destroyed him, 2 up, 1 to go for the victory. And spoiler alert, I'm going to get the victory. I'm saying that now because I'm going to give my sign off now, because it's just going to go straight into the end. So guys, if you enjoyed it, please leave a like. If you want to see more, then please subscribe. Feel free to leave a comment letting us know which character you'd like to see us use in the future. And until next time guys, stay perfect.